when my youngest son was born, 2 weeks after he was born, I actually got fired from my job. I had just moved to Kalamazoo, was in a brand new relationship. Um, I had just moved 2 hours away from my older 2 kids. So I was in a place of I was just struggling, just like, how I'm gonna take care of my kids over here.
So you have a son that plays Division I football for Central Michigan University. Tell us what that was like, molding him and preparing him to play football at a high at a high level of college football. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Coach Rodo's podcast, Winning Regardless. Today, I have another special guest. He's a friend of mine. He's a football extraordinaire. His name is Markus Naves. I like to give, people an opportunity to, that's working with kids and that motivate kids, the opportunity to come on and, talk about what they're doing, talk about themselves, give us the reason of being who he is and, why it's important and why he feels it's important to do the things that he does. And he has his own little, started his own little football thing. He has his own wristbands they call Be the Reason, which he's going to get into and talk about, just to give y'all a little, thought about what we're going to talk about and things of that sort. So without further ado, go my man Markus. So
What up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be on here.
Yeah, because I thought, I've been telling you for a while that I'm gonna have you on. So now we finally doing it.
We finally doing it. It's cool.
So yeah, so tell the people about you. Tell them about yourself. What you're doing and.
Again, my name is Markus Naves. I am a entrepreneur, a businessman. I have my own business called Team Be the Reason. I have a couple of things. I'm doing some consulting. I help teach people how to make money online with affiliate marketing, utilizing AI. And like you said, I also have my own wristband company. It's called Be the Reason Bracelets, where we help motivate entrepreneurs and athletes on their journey of success and helping them and motivating them on their goals. So doing a couple things. I'm also the director and head coach of the Kalamazoo Polar Bears. We are a brand new youth football program here in Kalamazoo. So I'm excited to get back to coaching, get back on the field and, start, continue to mentor and help kids, because that's one of the things that's most important to me.
Okay. Now, with all of that being said, let's go down the line. Now, with your Be the Reason, can I see one of them?
Yeah, go
with
ahead.
Your Be the Reason bracelets, man. You showed me something that was very, very. I had never seen anything like it before. That was very, very intriguing, man. Why don't you break down, because people just see Be the Reason. Oh, that's all that's on there. No, break it down and show them what it do.
Okay, well, my life motto really has been kind of be the reason for your own success. Like, ain't nobody coming to save you. So in order to, do the things you want to do in your life, whether it's like having that freedom, maybe it's starting on a basketball team or a varsity team or getting a promotion or a raise, like you need to be the reason for your own success. So that's kind of been my motto. And I've always worn these wristbands. I had the silicone ones, and then I thought to myself, like, how can I get quotes on the bracelets and help motivate people on their journey? Being a former athlete and an entrepreneur now, I know how tough it is, and I just wanted to motivate people. So we got these Be the Reason wristbands. They're stretchy, they're reversible, they're waterproof as well. And the cool thing about them is they work off just the tap of your phone. So they have an NFC chip. So when you touch it to your phone, it's going to bring up a brand new inspirational quote every time you tap it to your phone. So This one stay dangerous by staying ready. So we got over 1,000 quotes on our wristbands. We have a lot of different colors um, and different patterns that you guys can choose from. You can check those out at btrbracelets.com. But the whole goal is to motivate and help inspire people on their journeys.
So with you doing this and motivating, and me and you always talking about that when we having cocktail or two sitting around at the bar just chilling. With this being your motivation, and how did you get started in wanting to become motivating, and also your journey into sports and football, and then wanting to pass your knowledge, of course, on to others.
I think it just started at a young age, really. Even when I was in like elementary school, I always kind of been just a really, really good athlete. I was a lot more athletic than a lot of other kids. And, I remember my mom telling me when I was in elementary school, like, Marcus, you gotta like help teach the kids, like to help bring them to your level. Cause she would see how frustrated I was sometimes that, they wasn't as good as me or something like that. And I can remember like actually doing it, like teaching people what to do and watching them succeed. And it's like something like that just made me happy to like help other people and to see them be able to accomplish something that like I could already do or already did. So growing up in sports and, getting pushed by coaches and mentors and, being taught discipline and consistency and, you know, getting motivated in order to accomplish team goals or individual goals, that helped mold me to where I am today. Um, to want to coach, help kids, motivate the kids, help teach them the right way, and just mentor and be a asset to them as they are, growing and trying to learn this game we call life.
Now, as mentors, we always try to help the kids avoid some of the pitfalls that we have may have ran into, or have some of the things that have stopped us from achieving a certain goal at a certain time that we expected to achieve. And what are some of the obstacles that you had to overcome, and what kept you moving forward past those obstacles, even though they existed, you were still able to move on from them? What were some of those obstacles?
I mean, to be honest, I had so many obstacles, man, in my life. And the one that come to my mind first is when my youngest son was born, 2 weeks after he was born, I actually got fired from my job. I had just moved to Kalamazoo, was in a brand new relationship. Um, I had just moved 2 hours away from my older 2 kids. So I was in a place of I was just struggling, just like, how I'm gonna take care of my kids over here, how I'm gonna take care of my family here, like, and, I became a stay-at-home dad. And it was one of those like, man, my wife or my girl, she was my girl at the time, but she went back to work from maternity leave early. She paying all the bills, and I'm just at home taking care of the kids. So like for me, that was like rock bottom. Like,
Humbling,
damn, I
very
got
humbling.
I got my girl taking care of all 5 of these kids, holding it down for us. Like, man, what am I gonna do in order to like help her? So that's when I started my journey of like doing stuff online. So since I was there with my son, I could, watch some YouTube videos and learn different ways and different side hustles that I could do from home to try to make some money online. And through that, I was able to get a mentor and find somebody to teach me the right way to do it. Cause was started it and I was failing and I was giving up. But my wife actually is the one that kept me telling me to keep going. Like she
Right.
didn't say, "Hey, you got to go get you a job now."
Yeah.
This is over. You know what I'm saying? She was one of those that kept pushing me and inspiring me and motivating me to want to keep doing it because I wanted to quit so many times. You
Right,
know what I'm saying?
right.
Because I was
Failure makes cowards of us.
yeah,
Just
man.
like fatigue.
Yeah. and I,
You
and I
know?
was and I was failing.
Yeah, and you was tired of
and
it.
I was tired of it. But she just believed in me and helped push me to where I finally was able to start making consistent income from home to where now I can, you know, have the freedom to come do stuff like this and, help pay bills and
And
things around
coach
and
and,
coach. And
start your mentorship with the
yeah,
kids because you got to have a strong, backbone at home that allows you to actually be the person that you really are,
yeah, man.
which you a teacher, you're a coach, a mentor,
Right.
you know, so you
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. And that's what I'm trying to help with a lot of these kids.
Yeah.
I just know how important it was for me to have a mentor, coaches, other parents that cared, that wanted all of us to have success and didn't want us in the streets and,
Right.
and things like that. So I just want to be, like I said, that asset to these kids and others, um, as we go forward. So
Now, another thing that I like to do is I like to give my guests the opportunity, to talk about, their kids, So you have a son that played Division I football for Central Michigan University. Tell us what that was like molding him and preparing him to play football at a high at a high level of college football.
yeah, I mean, from the day he was born, I just knew I was like, man, I can't wait until he's of that age where I can start teaching him some of the stuff I learned in college as a Division I college football player. And once he got that age, it was different because me and his mom were divorced. So it wasn't like I was there every single day, but the days we were together, I was able to, help teach him, get his hands right, get his feet right, start teaching him the game, just at a higher, different level than, a lot of these other little kids is learning, just because I've been there, done that, you know what I mean? And one of the biggest things that like I struggled with when I did move, because I used to live outside of Flint
Hmm.
area. Um, and my son and my daughter, they grew up in Grand Blanc, and my son graduated from Davis, and my daughter is still a junior right now. But when I moved from there, one of the things I struggled with was not being able to coach him and be there,
Yeah.
and having other people, get their hands on him,
Yeah.
and just being able to trust that he was still gonna get to where he wanted to get. And one of the things I was most proud of was seeing that first offer. I remember he got that first offer. I took him up to Eastern Michigan for a visit. And I remember just waiting in the waiting room. The coach wanted to see us and talk to us. And we're just out there kind of just hanging out, not really thinking of anything. When we got back there in that office, and the coach said, "Hey, we'd like to offer you a full ride." And I just, a lot of the weight
Well,
just felt like it just lifted off my
yeah,
shoulder,
because
to
there
be
was that
honest.
education that we always want our kids to have past high school.
Yeah, man. I was just so happy and so proud of him that he, continued to work and, took ownership of it himself. It wasn't,
Yeah.
oh, you here because your daddy do this, you here because your daddy do that. No, I'm here because I put in the work and I'm better than you or
Right.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was a very, very proud moment. And then the very next day, actually, he got another offer from Central Michigan. And that was crazy because that's where I actually played Division I college football out of high school with Central Michigan University. And it was just like, oh man, I
Full
mean,
circle.
full circle. And the cool thing is that's where he ended up going with
Yeah.
Central Michigan. And it was just like, man, like father, like son.
Yeah.
And the cool thing, like this year, he was a true freshman. He got redshirted. He didn't get to play. But like he got to dress for his first college game ever at the big house this year at Michigan Stadium. And that's where I played my first college game ever at the big house as well. So it was just like, man, full circle moment. It was crazy. So I'm proud of him and what he's accomplished so far. So I'm excited.
So, like, motivation wise, like, what are some of the things that you do to keep him motivated? And, again, with these little kids that you have to coach. And with this team that you start, motivation is going to be a key because when I coach some kids, it's woo boy, it's hard to keep their attention, and the best way to do it is to keep them motivated. So, what are some of the techniques and the things that you would say to motivate?
I mean, just teaching them, like, just being real with them, talking to them, being that advocate for them, being another like person they can come to and trust, and like just pushing them to be better, encouraging them. Like even if they mess up, it's like, man, it's all right. You'll get it. You got to just keep on practicing. Just helping with their mindset because that's the biggest thing in sports and life and business. Like it's your mindset. And are you disciplined? And are you gonna be show up consistently? Like that's what we want. Are you gonna put in the reps to become really, really good? Or are you just gonna go off your pure talent and just fake it till you make it kind of thing. So just trying to get the best out of the kids, trying to push them to succeed and see them as just more than just athletes. You know what I'm saying? You are a student athlete. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do in the classroom, being respectful to the teachers. Make sure you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to do at home, being respectful to your parents, making sure like you taking care and doing what your mom tell you to do or your dad ask you to do. Just like, being good people
Right.
and, pushing them to do that. That's kind of my number one goal.
Now, here's another thing that I like to do with my guests who are, coaches and is coaching. This is your chance to pub your Kalamazoo,
Yeah.
Polar Bear football team. I didn't realize how many people and parents that I know in Kalamazoo that actually listen to the podcast. And you never know they got nieces and and nephews
Mhm.
and grandkids who
We need
maybe
the
they're
nieces
looking
too.
for
We're gonna have
somebody.
us a
So
cheerleading program.
so let's go. Let's go. Let pub it up. Let's go.
Not
Tell my listeners about it.
Hey, if you guys want a great program, I mean, we start with football right now, doing some football cheerleading, but if you want your son or nephew or grandson to play for an organization that really cares about development and, both on the field with the sports, off the field, with school and in the community. That's what the Polar Bears are all about. We are here to mentor young athletes and teach them the right way of doing it in sports, out in the classroom, in the community. And we are here. I got over 10 years experience coaching at the varsity level. I've helped over 70 athletes get scholarships, coaching at Grand Blanc High School back in the day. And we got a certified coaching staff. Everybody is USA football certified. We are really focusing on development and teaching the right way, especially when it comes to tackle football. I know a lot of parents are, kind of nervous and get a little scared because of concussions and things like that. So we are all USA football certified. We're, teaching the right way to tackle, heads up, eyes to hips, going through the body, things like that. So making sure that we do protect the kids with concussions. We're also going to get those guardian caps,
Yeah,
those soft
yeah,
caps
yeah.
on our helmets to help protect them even more. So we just looking for opportunities to help kids in Kalamazoo get better, help keep them off the streets, help help them believe in themselves with a sport and help create a brotherhood and yeah, so I mean that's what we about. You can check us out at kalamazoopolarbears.com. We have our website right now. Next month, actually May 9th, we are throwing a youth football camp for ages 7 to 12. So look out for that. You can go to kalamazoopolarbears.com and check out the website and register for the camp. The camp is $20. So it's going to be at Upjohn Park from 10 to 1.
And also too, man, I want you to, with you being a father of a college athlete, the one thing that I always try to explain to parents is coaches are also recruiting them. So we want our parents to be respectful of our coaches, of the mentors, and to understand that these guys want the best for our kids. So, even though they may do things a little differently than you, just understand that they're not there to hinder, hurt, or harm your child. They're there to teach them and.
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing, like part of the recruiting process that I don't think a lot of people understand is it's like not only are they recruiting your athlete, they recruiting the parents, right? Like they looking at the parent like, is this somebody that we gonna have to have issues with? Like if the mama crazy or your dad crazy or somebody in your family, you just not, somebody that they want to deal with. I mean, you can get passed up on opportunities and scholarships and stuff like that just because of other people. You can have one of the better athletes out there who does deserve that, but he also deserves the parents and the families to be respectful as well.
And we start that in our youth
Yeah. Oh
organizations.
yeah.
The type of parent that you start out being is the type of parent that you'll end up being. So and I'm glad that you were able to touch on that. So I also like I love quotes. So, and I love for my guests to, give me a quote that they, you got plenty, but I know you have your one favorite. Tell my audience what your one favorite quote is that you pretty much love to live by. Like mine, for instance, is sending the elevator back down.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
One thing that I say all the time, and it goes really with my brand, is you got to be the reason for your own success. Like,
there you go.
Nobody out here gonna save you. If you want to do things differently, you got to choose. You make the decisions. You know what I'm saying? So you either choosing right from wrong, or even if you choose right, that still might not be the right decision. You know what I'm saying? So be the reason for your own success. Like, if you want different, you got to be different. And it starts with you and the accountability with you and the discipline with you and the consistency with you. Like, it's you versus you every single day. And, who gonna win?
So now, with that being said, we're about to wrap this up. If such as myself who wants to donate, because I know all sports youth programs like donations, they can use some donations. How do we get you some donations? Because again, I'm gonna donate. I mean, I'm gonna talk to some people that I know in my industry, and perhaps be able to find some other. But how do people get in touch in case there's some others that want to donate?
Okay. Again, you can check out KalamazooPolarBears.com. We have a couple different tabs on the website where you can click like sponsorships. We have a couple of different sponsorship packages on there, and you can basically choose which one you want to do. So we have one set up for like individuals. If you just like, want to just donate to the program and say you got $20 and you want to throw it in there, that's fine. We also have corporate sponsorships with like businesses and things like that on there. We have different packages, different levels that you can choose from. So I think we got five different packages of sponsorships that you can choose from. And you'll be able to support us with equipment, being able to help the kids, on their journey, just trying to be the best that they can be. And we really appreciate every person that gives us a donation and want to, support the polar bears.
Help the kids be the reason for their own success.
Yes, sir. That's what it's about, man.
There we go. Well, man, Marcus, I appreciate you taking the time to join Coach Rodo's Winning Regardless podcast, man. It's been a pleasure having you. And I can't wait to get out there and catch some of them football games, man. And then again, for the little young ladies, when you start your little cheerleading, I can't wait to see them flipping and dipping and yelling and screaming.
Oh, yeah. We're going to put it together, man. So I appreciate you taking the time, having me on, and being able to promote myself, the brands, the team. I love what you're doing, winning at all costs. And, I love it, man.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in to Coach Rodo's podcast, Winning Regardless. Another great day with another great guest. Peace.